So hi, hello and welcome again. Oliver here. Look, some beautiful vacuum tubes. I was able to find out what they do. I cannot believe it. I'm pretty happy about that. I got them from an old radio. And these vacuum tubes were made in the year 1952. Wow, you do the math, over 70 years ago. And luckily, with a little bit of research, I was able to figure out what the role was, right? And as a matter of fact, these are, quite interesting. I did not even know about that. So first of all, when you look at that, the company's name is General Electric, yeah, made in the USA, both of them from the same company. And there are a couple of numbers on here that actually helped me find out what they actually do. There's a number written on here. It's 6U5 and 6G5. This is the so-called the Magic Eye tuning indicator tube. Wow, what a mouthful. I'll explain what that does. And over here, there are also two numbers over here, 204. This stands for the year 1952. In the fourth week of 1952, it was manufactured. 188, that is the company identified General Electric. And it was manufactured, the dash 5 stands for Owensboro, that's the city in Kentucky in the United States. This was the plant that actually manufactured this vacuum tube. Yeah, and similar over here, this one is also from the year 1952, but in the week 48, so towards the end of the year, and manufactured in the same plant here. So what do they actually do? This here actually is apparently a fairly cheap, or was a fairly cheap vacuum tube. It's a rectifier tube. This means it converted alternating current into direct current so that the radio could use direct current. Yeah, so that is basically apparently a fairly standard component that could be found in many radios and in many electronic devices. Yeah, you needed direct current, and you had basically fed in alternating current, and out came direct current. Yeah, so that's basically it worked like a diode these days. Yeah, and this one over here is actually quite interesting. I didn't honestly, I have to admit, I didn't even know that this is possible. This so-called the Magic Eye tube. It was a tuning indicator. This basically meant that when you were tuning the radio to find a station, it started to glow over here when by lamp. It's not a lamp. It's for phosphorescent screen. It started to glow to indicate whether the signal is weak or strong. Okay. As a matter of fact, luckily, I did find actually online on Wikipedia an animated GIF, a short video on how this actually looked like. So yeah, I could not imagine this myself, but luckily somebody put this on. Yeah, so this apparently was a fairly expensive tube at that time, and if you do a little bit the conversion and the math, apparently according to today's prices, it would have cost around 70 US dollars, around 70 euros. So fairly expensive. Yeah. So this was actually a screen, a display. It's an output device to tell you if the signal, how strong the signal is. So it's not only, I always thought that those vacuum tubes, and that's something that I learned while doing research on those, I always thought that those vacuum tubes work like transistors, like amplifiers. And sure, many of them did, but I did not know that there are vacuum tubes with a range of different functions, other functions as well. Yeah, so I learned quite a bit doing a little bit of research here, and this is actually like a screen, it's a display screen, so to say. So quite cool. And those numbers here, basically, they gave the solution. Basically, with those numbers, they actually tell you what the vacuum tube's function actually was. And this one over here has 6 pins, and this one over here has 8. Also 6 pins. 2 of them are not used. Yeah. So and fascinating, honestly. And these days, nowadays, what we have is, of course, we have semiconductors that basically fulfill the functions of those. Very unbelievable, honestly. If you just think that one silicon chip in a computer contains maybe billions of little switches, and back in the day, they used to make computers. The first electronic computers also used vacuum tubes, and yeah, how huge they are, right? And how much electricity they must have consumed. So this kind of shows I like this because it kind of shows you're holding not only a little piece of history in your hands here, but also it kind of shows you how far we have actually come. Yeah, in just 70 years. And I sometimes wonder, gee, in 50 years, 30 years, 50 years, 70 years, where is technology going to be then? Yeah, probably unimaginable. Yeah, and yeah. So in that sense, I like those not only for their historical value, but also because they kind of symbolize also, yeah, progress, scientific progress, and engineering progress, and it's just fascinating. And I do consider them, I don't know, to a certain extent, beautiful. I don't know. It's really, yeah. I like holding these objects in my hand and actually feeling. I would say maybe this kind of sounds a little bit dramatic if I say it. The connection into our own history. Yeah. Yeah, and considering that people actually listened to radios, yeah, back in the day, using those tubes. Very interesting. I wish you all the best and hope to see you again in the next video. Bye bye.